Hey, welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. As well as my friends over at yarnspirations.com. We're moving along in our Flora Afghan. This is June of 2019 as we're going to begin doing the Hydrangea together. So let's open up the page. Ooh, this is amazing. Another Afghan. You need to make 3 of these, and we're going to have some options for you in this particular one, and I also have a mini example to show. So it is a total of, what do we have here, 16 rounds in order to make this work, and I got some tips and etc. and more. So let's dive into this. Let's look at the sample first with my mini me example. So here's my mini me example, and what I have here is that when I originally designed this, you'll notice that it was all white, just like you see. I was originally thinking snow in winter as a snowflake when I was designing this particular square, what ends up being the square in the Flora Afghan. So I decided to try different colors with different rounds, and this is what it can look like. So you can go from really kind of basic and minimalistic to really outlandish and really fun stuff. You will notice here that the white petals here are not pinned down. So when they're sitting up like these purple ones right here, they are not sitting down in the original sample when you see it on the bed. However, what happens, let's flip that over and I'm gonna show you. See this purple here? If you don't pin it down, the petals can fall through this gap right here and come to the back side. So I put a poll online. Do you want to see these particular ones pinned down, or do you want it opened up? And many people wanted the option of doing either way. And why that matters is that when it comes to doing the lilies in August that you'll see coming up in the future, is that we have more of these working out, and what happens is that you end up having 3 rounds that will fall towards the back side if you do that. So what I decided to do is that when I did this, and I thought, you know what, this is really seriously gonna bother me, so I did it so that it pinned these purple ones down. So in the instructions, I've given you the instruction of pinning or non-pinning, and you'll see that there. And when you come to the lilies in August, obviously in August when we do this, you'll have the option to leave these unpinned or pin them down as well. So I wanted to give you a little bit of something to play with so you can decide what works for you. I like the pinning down because no matter what I do to this now, no matter how much like I shake it, it's always gonna stay in the same position, because when you don't pin it, these have the opportunity to fall to the back side. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's go back to the instructions and let's talk a little bit about that. So in the instructions it says look for the red box, and this red box indicates when 2 rounds should be the same color. So what we have here is that we bring the sample back, is that you will notice if I pin this back, this orange and this orange are 2 different rounds, but they work together. And I found with myself when I wasn't having them work together is that it looked really out of place. So what I decided to do for you on here is that I put 8 and 9 in a red box to indicate that those 2 should at least be the same color. So if you want to play with colors or use as much as or as little as you want to, just keep these 2 colors, 2 rounds the same color. Also in round number 10 we have with pinning, which is what I'm gonna recommend just for my own peace of mind. But then if you would like to do a round number 10 without the pinning, this is what it will be. So you have the instructions, and I left a picture here so that you can determine that as well. So other than that, it's really not too complicated. You need to make 3 of these for your particular one. Of course you can make a whole Afghan using this, and if you like other squares in this series you can mix and match those if you don't want to make the full entire Flora Afghan with all 7 designs. So let's get after it. Today we are going to, I'm just going to be using a mix of Caron 1 Pound colors that I have. People do ask me, well, you're not following a color scheme. It's your creativity. Do whatever you feel is important for you. I have designed it in the sense of 3 colors, A, B, and C, but of course I want you to play and have a lot of fun and really have fun with that center, because the center really lends itself well. And I was so amazed that I even designed that when I looked at it, because I had only done the prototype in white and the final design in white, so I never really saw it with all these amazing colors. So that's enough chitter chatter. Let's get at her. And let's grab our 6mm size J crochet hook today and our Caron 1 Pound or whatever yarn you've decided to use, and let's begin. Okay, so let's play. We're gonna create a slip knot to begin. This is an intermediate level one I would consider, but of course you're watching the tutorials, I'll try to do it as best I can. I know that I'm not gonna be satisfying everybody. So we're going to just start with a slip knot and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And most of the Flora Afghan stuff, I can't remember if they're all like this, but they all pretty much start the same way. So chaining of 4, and I want you to put in 11 double crochets in the 4th chain from the hook. So with this chaining that you're just about to skip over, that is counting as 1, so there will be a total of 12 spokes all the way around. So adding 11 here, we'll be able to get you a total of 12. So now that I've put in 2, so count this chain as 1, 2, 3 and 4, and go up over top of that straggler. So wrap it so it goes underneath the stitch work. Okay, that was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. I'm gonna keep this color for one more round. So there should be a total of 12. So the chaining of 3, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12, and slip stitch to the beginning chain to make that as a complete circle. Now if you've gotten over top of the straggler like I was showing you, then just cut that now and get rid of that, and let's deal with your loose ends as you go. Also, because this is working in an assembly line, I'd consider doing the other 2 centers while you're at it, because you have to make a total of 3. Of course, if you're making a full Afghan with just with these squares, make them all in sequence and it's easier. So every time there's a color change, just get the rounds caught up. So I'm gonna keep this color one more time, but if I was doing this for another 2, I would use another color, etc., and just get the 2 rounds done. It's just easier to remember a pattern. Let's begin round number 2. So round number 2 is consisting of popcorn. So we're going to do a beginning popcorn first. So there's instructions on how to do that, but I'll show you anyway. It's chaining of 2, and in the same stitch as the join, I want you to apply a total of 3 double crochets to all in the same stitch. So let's just say this is 1 because it is, and 2 and 3. Now because this is a popcorn, I want you to release that loop and go into the beginning top of the chain 2, and I know what you're thinking, why didn't you start off with the chain 3? It looks sloppy, so I just chain 2 as my start. Insert the hook into that loop, so I've gone into this one, and insert and pull through, and then to finish this off, chain 2, 1 and 2. Now what I want to do is that every stitch is gonna be the same. So now it's a regular popcorn, so you're just gonna apply 4 double crochets into the next stitch. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, let it drop. Go into the first stitch of the grouping of 4. Go to the back side, grab that loop now, put it on and pull through, and then chain 2 and move on. So please do that, and you'll have a total of 12 popcorns in a circle going all the way around. So please do that, and I'll see you at the end of round 2. So as I move along, I'm gonna show you a cheating technique, and we have a total of 11 popcorns here. You need a total of 12. So we gotta fill in this one here, but it creates this space here that becomes noticeable. So I'm gonna show you how to cheat the system. This is totally breaking the rules of crochet, so if anybody asks you, I'm totally gonna deny it. So what I would do, the very final one, put 3 popcorn or 3 double crochets first into the same one. Popcorn is made up of 4, and then just sneak in that space that you have that will create the open look. Just sneak in 1 double crochet there. That'll fill in that hole, and then you're just gonna release it, go to the first one of the grouping of 4, put it on, pull through, chain 2, and then just come to the top of the first one just there, the first popcorn, and pull through and through. And by doing that, you've just now sealed it so that there's really no holes in between, and that's awesome. So I'm gonna get rid of this color, and then we're gonna move on to round number 3. So let's keep going. So round number 3, I'm gonna create another slip knot with some new color I've woven in the end here. I'm gonna just trim that after I'm done. So what you wanna do is play in the spaces between these popcorns, okay, the chain 2 spaces. So you can just attach to any one, doesn't really matter, and you can do a standing single crochet, which will look even better. So you learned that last square that we just did, but here's how you do a standing single crochet. So you put it onto your hook first, and then as a slip knot, go into the stitch, and then just grab it and pull through, and you'll have 2 loops. Notice I didn't pull it through the first one right away, then yarn over it and then pull through the 2, and that's a standing single crochet. So each one of these chain 2 spaces, let that straggler just stay down on top of the line so it can hide it, and then just put in 2 more single crochets into that same space. So each of the spaces, so once you get the first one done, jump to the next space between the popcorn and apply 3 single crochets, and you're gonna do that all the way around. So you're not having to touch those popcorns, you're just playing in the spaces in between. Please do that all the way around for round number 3. So once you come around the last space just before the first one here, 3 singles, and then just join to the first single crochet like that, pull through and through, and I'm gonna keep this color going, and then get ready for round number 4. Get rid of any loose ends that you may have at this point that you've been hiding along the way. The more you can hide and tuck things underneath, the less you have to use of a tapestry needle. Let's move on to round number 4. Let's move on to number 4. So you have 3 single crochets in each one of these spaces. So we're gonna be occupying each one of those. We're currently in the first one of the grouping of 3 to start. So we're gonna chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then we're going to do a popcorn in the next one. So we're gonna do that again. So just 4 double crochets into the same one, and then release it, and then go to the first one of the grouping of 4, grab it, pull it through and pull it thing. And what we want to do after we get the popcorn in just like that, we chain 1 to lock it, and then just jump to the next stitch that's in that grouping of 3 and do 1 double crochet. So here's the repeat pattern all the way around. So the next grouping of 3, the first one is a double crochet, and then there's a popcorn in the middle one of the grouping of 3, so there's 4 double crochets to form that. Once you get your 4, drop it, go to the first one of the grouping of 4, pull through, chain 1 to lock, and then 1 double crochet into the last one of the grouping of 3. So please do that all the way around. This is number 4. So I'm just going to put in my last popcorn here. It's my 12th one. There's a total 12 all the way around, and there's a total 4 double crochets that make that up, and I want to show you a little tip that is again breaking the rules of crochet. Okay, so I have to put 1 more double crochet in here, but you see this is not a stitch, but it looks like that it is. So what I would recommend is that going in and insert in, pull through 2 and hold it, and then go into the space. So wrap, going into the space, pull through 2 and hold it. This is a 2 together double crochet, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, then attach to the top of the chain 3. And by doing it the way that you did, see, it looks absolutely finished. If you don't do it that way, you end up with a hole which appears right here in the project, and that's just the standards of crochet. So I'm gonna get rid of this color, and we're gonna get busy and move on to round number 5. Let's move along to round number 5. Number 5 is kind of unusual. So I was trying to think myself, how am I gonna bring balance? How am I gonna introduce a crocodile stitch in here? And so this is what I came up with, and you can either like it or lump it. I don't even know why I said that. So what we're going to do is that we are going to join to the very first one that is where we joined it. Okay, so we're gonna join the new color there. And watch what I do. It is really unique what I did here to solve my problem. So I'm gonna do a standing single crochet. So I insert in, yarn over, pull through, but don't pull through the loop yet, and then yarn over, pull through 2, and that's a standing single crochet. To get and solve my problem, see this space in between the popcorn in this double crochet that we just went in the top of? This was a chain 3, but it's called a double crochet. You're just going to single crochet in that space, and then you're gonna chain 2, 1 and 2, and you're gonna come in and just pull it apart and see the next space between the next double crochet and this popcorn. That's where you're gonna go, and you're gonna single crochet, and then you're going to single crochet in the regular double crochet, and you're gonna do that all the way around. So this is considered 1. What you're doing is you're making the foundation for the petals. So let's begin the next. So you're gonna do that 12 times. So you're gonna come into the top of the first double crochet for that set. You're gonna come into the space between the double crochet and the popcorn, then chain 2. That's the foundation that you're creating for the petal. Gonna come into the space on the other side, and then single crochet in each of the double crochets. So I'll show you one more time. So in the double, in the space, chain 2 to jump over that popcorn, going into the space on the other side, and then a single crochet into the next 2 doubles. So I want you to do that all the way around, and you will notice that you will have 12 of these holding points for your next petals in the future. Please do that. I'll see you at the end of this round. So as I come all the way around, I'm just jumping over my last popcorn, just going into the space. And when you get all the way around, see this section here? Remember that when you brought those together, those were just all one stitch, like so, and you've already gone into the top of the other double crochet, and then you're just going to join it with a slip stitch. And I'm gonna keep this color going, I believe, for this particular one here. But what we're going to do is that we're gonna have to slip stitch. So if you're gonna change your colors, then you would just begin in the chain 2 space that's next. So you'll see that it's still looking pretty flat at this point. It's still looking awesome. And let's continue then to round number 6. So let's begin round number 6. We're technically on the first one of the single crochet, so I want you to get to this chain 2. If you're joining a new color, just join right to the chain 2. And I'm gonna slip stitch there because I want to keep my color. And I want to go right into that chain 2 space and then begin. So to begin, you're going to chain 1 and you're going to single crochet into the same space. You're now going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and come back into that same space and single crochet. Just like that. So this is a loop that will hold the petal. Okay? So now you're gonna chain 1, and now you're going to skip to the next chain 2 space and single crochet, and then chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're gonna come in to the same chain 2, single crochet, chain 1, and then skip to the next chain 2 space. And what you'll have here is that you'll have these loops that are ready for your petals in the next round. So they're made up of chain 5s, and then after you've done that, chain 1 and advance. So please do that all the way around. This is round number 6. So once you come all the way around, don't forget to chain 1 first, and then you're just gonna slip stitch then into the first single crochet when you're done, just like that. Okay, so now you will have 12 of these loops going all the way around. So now I'm gonna continue on to round number 7. So let's move on to round number 7. You're gonna chain up 1 and you're just immediately gonna jump to this chain 5 space, and you're gonna apply the following: 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, 3 double crochets, chain 1, and then go in the opposite direction. So 3 double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and 1 single crochet in all of this, and you're gonna make a petal. So now that we've chained 1 already, so we're gonna start with 1 single, and then we're gonna do 1 half, meaning half double crochet, then 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3, and now you're at the peak. So you're gonna chain up 1 and then go back in the opposite direction, so you're gonna get smaller again. So you're gonna go 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3, and then 1 half, and then one single. I shouldn't have wrapped it. So 1 single crochet. So that's what each one of the petals has, just like you see. Now you're going to apply 1 single crochet into this chain 1 space before the next one, so right here, and then begin again. So let's just review one more time. So start off with 1 single. So this is in the chain 5 space. You're gonna do 1 half. We have 3 doubles, and then chain 1 at the top, and then go in the opposite direction. So you're gonna go 3 doubles, okay, and then 1 half, and then 1 single, and then there will be 1 single in the chain 1 space before the next loop. And you're gonna do that, and you'll end up with these 12 petals going all the way around. So please do that. This is round number 7. So I got my last petal in. You are going to single crochet in the chain 1 space, and then just join it to the first single crochet that you started with. You need to get rid of this color now in order to have the really cool look. So you will notice that we're gonna hit the red box in the instructions like I talked about right in the beginning, and the next 2 should be the same color in order to get the next set of petals to look really good. I did do it twice, not paying attention to that, and it looks awkward when you don't match those colors. Again, your creativity, you decide what works for you. Please get ready for round number 8. So we're now continuing to round number 8. So these two colors have to be the same. It says after round number 8 you must fasten off and restart in a different location for round number 9. So even though it's the same color, you have to fasten off in order to be in the right position. I tried slip stitching, it just doesn't look good, so I'd recommend that. Of course, do whatever makes you happy. Let's begin round number 8. So let's begin round number 8. Pay attention to here because this is important to know what a standing double crochet is. It doesn't look the same if you don't do it as a standing. I'll just level with you. So I'm going to join to the single crochet that is in between two petals. Could be any one of them. I'm just gonna choose the one where I finished. And to do a standing for a double crochet, you're going to wrap the hook. So don't see how it's gonna twist if I do that. So just pinch so it doesn't want to unravel, and then go into the single crochet and insert in. We learned this on the last square as well, and pull through, noticing that I'm still pinching. So wrap, pull through 2, and then wrap, pull through final 2, and that was a standing double crochet. So this is a neat kind of concept. I'm gonna show that one more time. So just wrap and put a slip knot onto the hook. Using your finger, push down on it and wrap it once so it doesn't unravel. Go into the single crochet between the petals where you're supposed to, pull through, noticing that I'm still holding that down, wrap and pull through 2, and then wrap and pull through the final 2, and that's a standing. So the ending strand should be at the top of there if it's standing. I then want you to chain 5. So watch what we're gonna do. We're gonna do chain 5 picots. So let's count those out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I want you right where those two strands, right in the very beginning, I want you to insert in. That's the top of the standing. So in, pull through and through, and that chain 5 just became a loop. That will be the next middle of your next set of petals. And I want you to single crochet right, or sorry, double crochet right into the same one that you did the join. It's always awkward to start around, but once you get that done, that's what it looks like. So these are the foundations of what you're gonna do, and when you do the petals it's gonna look like it completely opens. So after you get that single crochet done, you chain 3 to advance to the next one that you need to do. So it'll be the single crochet over here. So put these petals, just flip it up forward out of your way and go into the single crochet with the double crochet first, and then chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and right where you see how they're joining together like there, just insert in. It's the top of the double crochet, pull through and through, and then double crochet into the same single crochet. See, when you don't pin things down, which I will talk about, the petal has the opportunity to go through this to the back side. So that's why I'm suggesting to pin. Okay, so that's just one of those things that you should see. So to go to the next one, you're gonna chain 3, go in between. Even if you accidentally go in front, you can still move it around at this point, because nothing is like the petals can go forward or back at this point. Not a big deal. Chain 5, and then double crochet into the same one. So you're gonna do that all the way around, so it'll be a total of 12. You'll notice this is nice and tight, and the reason why I did the chain 3 is that because it's not big enough space, it wants to pull it more closer in, just like that. So please do that all the way around for round number 8. When you get all the way back around, you're just going to join it to the first standing double crochet that you had, and regardless of keeping the same color, you need to fasten off so that we can start off in the right spot on the next round. Okay, so right where we are, we're going to fasten off, and we're gonna get ready for round number 9. Keep the same color. I'm strongly recommending that because the foundation of this peekabooing in between and then the petal added to it looks fabulous. Again, your creativity, your business, do whatever you want. Okay, so we're gonna move on to round number 9, and number 9 is gonna be the final petal that we're going to do. And I know you're thinking, when are we gonna start pinning? We're gonna pin in round number 10 if you wish it to be, and you will notice when you look at this from behind, you have all your chaining and spaces. You'll notice that it's nice and tight, and that's what you want because you want it to stay flat when you're ready to go for the next round. So I'm gonna get that same color ready. You know what, I think I might, well, you know what, I'm gonna try a different a darker purple. That'll be kind of awesome. So I'm not even following my own advice. Again, your creativity, but I think that it can look from light purple to dark purple. Woo, now I'm excited. Let's begin round number 9 next. So round number 9, we're going to begin with the slip knot, and we're going to go to any chain 3 space. Now the ones that we had the join at, I'm recommending that you, when you do it, just keep the straggler underneath the chain and keep it so that it can get stuck underneath, and I want you to join it with a standing single crochet. So you can either chain 1 and single crochet or do a standing one. So keep the straggler down on top of the line, and you're gonna come to this chain 5 loop. So they're always gonna be the same in the chain 5 loop. So you're gonna start off with 2 double crochets first. So 1 and 2, and you'll notice this petal's bigger, that's why it's slightly different. And then there's gonna be 3 trebles. So wrap in the hook twice and put in 3 trebles. So 1, 2 and 3. Then you're gonna chain 1 at the top of here. So you're gonna chain 2. You can tell I designed it. I was gonna say you can tell I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, so you're gonna go back down in the other direction. So there's a chaining 2 here at the tops. So what we're going to do then is going down. So you're gonna do 3 trebles in a row. And then you're going to do 2 doubles after that. So what you have to do is you have to go to the chain 3 space. So just pop this petal forward if you can't see it, and then just single crochet around the chain 3 space and then begin again. So you'll see how these kind of work together, just like you see. Okay, so begin again. So we're gonna start off in the next chain 5 space, and you're gonna put in 2 double crochets in a row followed by 3 trebles. So 1, 2, 3, and then chain 2 and then reverse. So going 3 trebles going back down. So 1, 2 and 3, and then 2 doubles to finish that petal off. And then as soon as you got that done, just lean this petal in front if you have to, if you can't see it, and just single crochet. Do not get confused. When I was designing this, I noticed I saw a petal go back behind. That's why I'm asking you to think about pinning. And then I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to rip it out because I made a mistake, and all I realized is that it just fell between the gaps. So you'll notice that if that happens to you. So don't panic. Let's continue that all the way around. This is round number 9, and then the next one, round number 10, you're gonna have some options. So when you get all the way back around, I just put in my 2 double crochets, and then I'm going to slip stitch to the first single crochet and then get rid of this yarn and then feed it, just weave it in. So now you have to make some choices. You have one choice to make at this point, and I'm gonna bring you back to the mini me square, show you what your issue is, and then you can decide what's gonna work for you and what you would like to do differently if you want to. In the original design, you will notice that the final petals that we just did, mine were done in purple, will automatically come into this ring that's raised. I designed it this way. My issue is that the ones that are currently here, which is the purple here, are not pinned. So you will always have, if you decide not to pin it in this next round, you will always have the potential of things falling through and not looking so flat. If you want to pin it, then what you're going to do is just change it one thing, and what you're going to do then is just pin it so that it gets stuck into position permanently, and it will be held down by this next round. If you don't want it to do it, just leave it in front and then just work on the same stitch, just leaving those. But you just remember that if you go to have a big bedspread and you go to like put it out on your bed, you may have to go back through there and just pull up the petals if they've fallen through to the back side. Your call. You can decide what works for you. If you decide not to pin it, you have the option. These can sit up really quite beautifully like a lily pad, but then you end up with something like that. So that's not staged, that's just how I was just working with it. And again, you can decide what works for you. So let's show you option 10. There's 2 ways of doing option number 10, with pinning or without. Let me show you without first. Create a slip knot, and in the single crochet that is in between the petals, just join it with a standing single crochet. So just insert in, pull through the 2 loops. There's 1, that's your standing, and then do another single crochet into the same one, and then chain a total of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's just easier at this point just to reach over. You want it to be in behind, but it's just easier to reach over, and you can flip it in the front later, and then just come to the next single crochet and single crochet twice, and then chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the next one. So once you get all the way around, you just simply come back and just flip those petals into the front side. Even if you were pinning, you still would want to do that. So you can just move it around and move it in front, and the way that this chain 5 is going to do, it's going to want to keep it in front anyway. That's the way I designed that. So if you would like to do the pinning, what we're going to do in here, we're going to attach it to the top of the gapping space that was here, and I used a different color completely because you might as well make it an accent color, and that's what I'm gonna show you next. Okay, so let's show you the pinning. What you want to do is that you want to create a standing single crochet again, so just a slip knot, and come in between the gapping space, so it's a chain 1 space here, going in through there, so go right into the space, and then going into the single crochet that is in between the 2 purple ones, and you're gonna do a standing single crochet there. So just pull through, and then you got your 2 loops, pull through the 2, and there's 1, and then into the same exact space and the same stitch on the back side, single crochet. And what this is doing is it's holding that down. So you're still gonna chain only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can just push it forward if you want to, but I wouldn't worry about it so much because you have to come back and push those forward anyway. You'll notice that it's kind of awkward. So coming into the space in between the top, and then coming into the single crochet in the back, and 2 single crochets into that same spot. So 1 and 2. So chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just go into the space and the single crochet in behind, and put in 2 single crochets in there. So you notice it's kind of a little awkward. I'm not going to deny that, but you know what, you get the final look that you probably would prefer. So once you get all the way around, you're just gonna take these petals and just shift them in front of this chain 5 space, and you will notice that this then becomes an accent, and then these are held down permanently instead of being loose and potential. These can never fall through the back side now that they're pinned, and it'll close in any gapping spaces to prevent anything like this from happening to you of just coming through. So you decide and do round number 10. When you get all the way back around, just slip stitch to the beginning single crochet, so chain your 5 and slip stitch to there, and then we're gonna get rid of this color. So this is just an accent color to finish this off. Then what I want you to do is just go back through your round and just pull all the petals that are in the back side to the front, and we're gonna be worrying about that not in the next round but in the rounds after that. So just weave in this end right into the chain 5, because the next round we're gonna cover that in. And then if you were just doing it in the front like I just did, then just go back through and just pop those petals through, and then they'll be ready to go then for the next time. So please do that, and let's go on to round number 11. Okay, so you're ready for round number 11. Let's create a slip knot to begin. 11's easy. The hard part is almost behind us, and what I want you to do is flip it so that you can see the chain 5 space that's in behind, and I want you to just go into the space and just slip stitch it to join it. Chain 3 counts as a double crochet, and you want to apply 8 more double crochets into that same one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So with the chaining 3 there should be a total of 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you did chain 3 and then 8 double crochets. That gives you 9. So once you have the first one done, just jump to the next chain 5 space and apply 9 double crochets, and I want you to do that. So put 9 double crochets in each of the chain 5 spaces all the way around. So let's move on, and we're coming all the way around. We have the last 9 in, and we're going to slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3, and I'm gonna keep the same color. So you'll notice that these ones here, this is why I wanted to pin it down. See how they're kind of like leaning up and they're not kind of organized? That's why I pinned it down in the beginning. So we're gonna go on to round number 12. Now you should know there's 9 stitches in each one of these sections. We're not gonna increase any stitches. We're just gonna maintain what's already there. The goal here is that there are 9 stitches that make up one of these things. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The middle one, which is number 5, is going to be attached, and it's gonna pin down this to hold it to give it the final look. So let's begin to do that. So to start this one here, we have to chain 1 first, and we're gonna slip stitch around the back of this post to keep it in the back. So coming from the back, just slip it, and that will get that ready to be in the back post. Then chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. Now the next 3 stitches in a row are each a back post double crochet. So coming in from the back side and out to the back, just double crochet in the back post. So from the back going back out. So you want 4 in a row that are in the back post. The next stitch is the 5th one. So when you do that one, you want to pin this back. So just wrap the hook going in, go into the space between in the petal, and go into that same stitch in the back. So the 5th one, just into a stitch, not a back post, and just half double crochet it, and that will hold that down. So the next 4 that are left in this series of 9 are each a back post double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so let's do the next group of 9. So the first 4 in a row are going to be a back post double crochet. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once you have that one done, the 4th one, just wrap the hook going into the center of the petal and go into the 5th one and half double crochet, and then back post double crochet the remaining 4 that are on that series. So what I want you to do is do that all the way around. I designed it like that so that you would have that, and by doing all the pinning like I just did, you have a beautiful look and nothing will ever follow the back side when you're going to do that. So please do that all the way around. This is round number 12. Okay, so now that I've gone all the way around, just do a double check to make sure that if you were pinning, or when you were pinning, sorry, you should be pinning on this one, is that you did get everything. So you're just going to join to the top of the first chain 3 to finish off this round. This is round number 12. So the next rounds, if you've been following along, are always the same and transitioning to a square. I made sure that each one of the squares had the same transitional of making sure 2 rounds are actually gonna be going together so that we can actually get ourselves from a round circle. So when you look at it here, you're going to see this round here and then this one, and then we're back to double crochets and then single to finish. So let's begin round number 13 as we transition now to a square. So as we begin round number 13, there are no corners at this point. We're gonna be making them as we go for this particular round. So let's begin, and we are going to slip stitch over to the 4th stitch, which is the half double crochet. I determined that it'd look nicer if it would get to that point for being a corner. So slip stitching over to the top of the half double crochet. Now we're ready to go. So we're going to chain a total of 4, and that counts as a treble, and we're going to put in treble into the same stitch. So wrapping twice and into the same one, another treble. So the counts, I'm gonna take you through 2 sides, and the counts are pretty easy once you start to understand it, and if you've done the other ones you will maybe have those in your head too. So we're gonna start off, the next one is a treble. So I'm just gonna announce what they are so that it's a treble, and then the next 3 are doubles. So double crochet. So 1, 2 and 3. The next 5 are half double crochets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The next 8 in a row are single crochets. So let's count those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And now we're gonna get bigger. So the next 5 are half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And now the next 3 are doubles. So 1, 2 and 3, and finally the next one is a treble. And I want you to notice where you are. This is why I had you move over. The next one is in a half double crochet, and that's your next corner. So if you see here, right, that was your corner. So you can see that you bypassed 2 half double crochets here, and the third one away is the next corner. So to do a corner is going to, in the next stitch, is going to be 2 trebles to start. And I'm gonna take you through one more side just so you understand the count, and then you can reverse the video back. Chain 2 and then 2 more trebles into the same stitch. So when you come all the way around the very first stitch that we started with, you have just to finish the first corner. So let's begin another side. So let's just announce them. So there's the next one is a treble and then 3 doubles. The next 5 are halves. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The next 8 are singles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. The next 5 are half double crochets as we get bigger. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and the next 3 are doubles. So 1, 2 and 3, and then the final one is a treble. And look where the next stitch is. It is on top of a half double crochet. So to finish that corner, to do that corner is 2 trebles first, followed by chain 2 and 2 trebles. So do that same thing, just reverse the video back if you need those counts. It's also on the written pattern as well. And what you're noticing is that you're going, and it's not perfectly a square yet. That's why we need one more round of just fancy stitches to get yourself square. So please do that all the way around. This is round number 13. So just finishing up the last treble on its own, and then the first one right here is that you're going to apply 2 more trebles to finish off this corner. So notice where I'm going. It's right below where the other 2 come out of. And then to finish this off nicely is that you join to the top of the first chain 4 with the half double crochet join. So just wrap the hook going into the 4th chain, pull through all of it, and then that puts you directly in the corner. We're then going to proceed now to row number 14. Row number 14 is just gonna stabilize this to be even more square, and we're gonna begin. So we're just gonna chain up a total of 3, counts as a double crochet, and then 1 more double crochet into there. So the corners will be 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. The next 3 in a row will each be a double crochet. So 1, 2 and 3. The next 3 in a row will each be a half. So 1, 2 and 3. And now the next 18 are single crochets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. So you should have a total of 6 stitches left. So the next 3 are halves. So 1, 2 and 3. The last 3 are going to be doubles. So 1, 2 and 3, and then finally a corner. So it'll be 2 double crochet into the chain 2 space, followed by chain 2 and 2 double crochet. So I'll follow you through one more side and then you can reverse the video if you can't remember. Let's begin. So it's gonna be 3 doubles. So 1, 2, 3, and then 3 halves. We have 1, 2, 3, and then we have 18 singles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. There should be 3 stitches left or 6 stitches left. So the next 3 are half. So 1, 2 and 3, and then the next 3 are doubles. So 1, 2 and 3, and then the corner again. So it's 2 doubles, chain 2, and then 2 doubles into the corner. So reverse this video if you can't remember that. So it's just essentially 3, 3, 18, 3 and 3, and you will notice that it's almost square at this point. So let's continue around and I'll see you at the end of this round. So I'm coming up to the end of round number 14, and there's 3 doubles that finish this one here, and then the final corner you're gonna finish that. So it'll be 2 double crochet and then just join it with the half double crochet join to the top of the first chain 3. So just wrap the hook going into the top of the first chain 3, pull through all 3, and that's it. So I suggest that we change color at this point just to kind of frame it up a little bit better, and again, your creativity, you can decide what works for you. The next 2 rounds are simple rounds. There's no longer really any counting involved, and now the hard part is kind of done and we're ready to move on down to round number 15. So let's begin round number 15. Let's start off in the corner, chain 2. I put a slip knot in. Let's do a standing double. So just pinch and going into the chain 2 space, pull through 2, and then pull through 2. That's your first one. Keep the straggler buried underneath and put another double crochet in that same chain 2. So each one of these stitches across is all gonna be 1 double crochet, and then in the corners it'll be 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So keep that straggler down underneath position so it gets stuck underneath the stitch. So not behind the stitch but under the stitch, and therefore you won't have to worry about it. So just go all the way around. Remember, corners are 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. Please do this all the way around for round number 15. Just coming all the way back around and just 2 double crochets into the first chain 2 space, and then join with the half double crochet to the top of the first chain 3. If this was a standing double crochet, then it's joining to the top of the standing. It's up to you. You can decide. Okay, one more round to go and then you're considered done for today. If you would like to make your others, you need a total of 3 of them for this particular Afghan, for the concept that I have. But of course you can make this square and mix and match with the other squares. And if you really like this square, you can make a lot more. You can make it to a full Afghan. It'd be really quite stunning, I think. I'm not trying to be biased, but I've really loved my own design. So let's begin final round number 16. Number 16, let's begin slip knot, hook, yarn. Here we go. And we're going to go to the chain 2 space and we're gonna do a standing single. If you don't want to do that, just join it and then chain 1 single crochet then. So it's standing, so do that. So that's 1 of 5 and put in 5 single crochets so they're into the same chain 2 space. So this is 2, 3, 4 and 5. So that will allow it to turn the corner. So in the top of the in each of the stitches then you're going to apply 1 double crochet. Watch that first one. Sorry, 1 single crochet, I apologize, into that, So 1 single crochet into each, and then when you hit the corners, 5 single crochets to turn the corner, and then keep on going, and that will conclude off the final round, round number 16, and then you can go out and celebrate with some cookies and milk or an alcoholic beverage. Whatever you choose, that's your business. Let's continue then, and I'll see you at the end of this round and call this quits for today. So I'm coming around the corner, folks, and that's it for today. We're just going to come to the last stitch. We've already done the corner, so slip stitch to the beginning single crochet to join. Now I would recommend for you at this point to weave in your loose ends. I don't have a tapestry needle on the table at the moment, it's upstairs, but that's okay, and I'm just going to just let it just hold, and I will weave it in with the tapestry needle back and forth. If you want to weave it in, just go back and forth, just turn it around and back and forth 3 times, and then get rid of it, and then you're good to go, and then you can worry about that. So you need a total of 3 of these for your particular Afghan that you're going to do, and you can see that there's a layout in the book if you would like to be able to follow that. I did change the layout slightly from the time that I actually did it, that you see here, but the Flora Wear is the ones that we have right now. So there's one right there, and there's another one, and there's another one. So you can see that I love the lilies in August, so I put 4 of those in there, so I have to take out something else, and this makes for the topping of a quilt like a queen size bed when you're done, and this is what it could look like when you're good. Notice that none of these here were pinned down, and so you can see that there's a slight difference between what you see here, what I accomplished today, and you can see the mini version is also looking very similar. So that's it for now. Have a great one. We hope to see you again in July when we launch the next one. Not sure what the next one will be, but that's okay. It's a mystery. Stitch along, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.